Britney Spears' manager sent me a cease and desist. Let's talk about it. Cade Hudson sent me a cease and desist because I talked about him coming on to me and how I rejected his advances. I will throw up the actual cease and desist at some point during these videos. It's going to be 2 or 3 parts, so lock in. And Cade, you can try to send me another one, but the only thing I'm going to do is print it out and wipe my ass with it. I will not respond to your scare tactics unless it is actually in court. I'm talking about this now because over the past week, Britney fans have started wondering, is Cade using Britney Spears? Reason being, this was posted to Britney Spears' Instagram story. I pulled it from Twitter because an Instagram story obviously expires in 24 hours. This was sounding an alarm to Britney fans because Britney Spears never posts to her story. Not only does she not post to her Instagram story, but this play is starring Cade's boyfriend. The lawyer that sent me the cease and desist is Andrew Brettler. Andrew Brettler is famous for representing men who are accused of SA. Men like Prince Andrew, men like Bryan Singer, men like Danny Masterson, who is currently in jail for 30 years. A very peculiar choice of a lawyer if you're trying to look like someone who does not SA people. Now, SA is not something that I ever accused Cade of, but someone has. A heterosexual actor that Cade allegedly offered $1,000 to, as well as offered an introduction to Amanda Seyfried. Let me remind you that the entire point of this conversation is what Britney fans are asking: does Cade use Britney Spears? Now, if those accusations are true, it sounds like he used Amanda Seyfried. I want to preface this next part by saying I am a major fan of both Britney Spears and Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is another person that he considers, and I believe she considers, her best friend. The Simple Life is where I developed my sense of humor. Baby One More Time was one of my very first CDs. So I have no intention of hurting them by saying this, but I have a feeling that neither one of them really know who Cade is when they're not around. Paris was a regular at the salon I worked at in Beverly Hills for 5 years. She is truly the sweetest baby angel. I would watch her dog for her. We would talk about our friends in common, like my friend Steven, who won her BFF show. She would invite me and the rest of the staff to the parties that she was having at her house, like the Halloween parties. She would take photos with me when I was at work when I definitely should not have been asking to take them. In fact, she would take photos with any person I ever saw ask her. She never said no. I've met her mom, I've met her Aunt Kim, I've met some of her cousins, I know Farrah. Truly, the whole family is so sweet. And actually, people who are born and raised in Beverly Hills like that, they're always the nicest people. It's the people who move here who are kind of monsters. That being said, when you see someone or meet somebody like Paris or Britney, and they're the sweetest people, and then you see they're surrounding themselves with somebody like this, you can't help but feel like, ugh, because like people are the people that they surround themselves with. Which is why I refuse to believe that either one of them really knows how he treats people. I first met Cade off the dating app Raya. I was working at that salon in Beverly Hills where Paris and a ton of celebrities would frequent. We'd been chatting, I was at work, it was a rainy day in LA, and he wanted me to come over. I told him no and that I wasn't looking to hook up, and he said, I'm not either, it's just a rainy day, like we'll order takeout, we'll watch Housewives. Years later, obviously I understand I was being naive and that if somebody is inviting you over to their home, it's because they just want to. I also want to say he led me to believe that I was coming over to his house, as in he owned it. I later found out after being invited to Chloe Grace Moretz's birthday party that the house actually belonged to Jeff Beecher and that Cade was renting the guest room. Jeff can be a different story for a different day if you guys even care, but Jeff and Cade, both of their self-worth is basically finding a sense of identity from their proximity to celebrity. When it comes to both of them, if you're not someone who can do something for them, they both may as well just spit on you. I just remembered this. I actually was sent to Jeff's house another time to pick up drugs for a celebrity from this, what's the right way to say it? Little person who has since passed away. R.I.P. King. So when I get to Cade's house, he leads me to his bedroom. The housewives were already on, so it's clear that's where he wanted us to hang out. And I go to sit on the edge of the bed, but he wants to show me some things first. He leads me around the room, pulling photos from the wall and then saying, this is me and my best friend. And it's a picture of him with Britney Spears. And then he pulls another photo from the wall and is like, this is my other best friend, and it's him and Paris Hilton. I was now clear that he was showing me photos of him with his celebrity friends in an attempt to get me to fuck him, not knowing that I saw celebrities every day. So I'm like, what should we order? Should we get Thai? And of course he's like, I'm actually not hungry. So now I'm sitting in his bed, like my back up against like where a headboard would be, but I don't believe there was one. He's laying down next to me. He's hitting his pen. He's talking about how he's so obsessed with this guy who just broke up with him, who was Kris Jenner's lawyer, or he was the lawyer for the Kardashian Jenner company. I later met that lawyer actually at a Memorial Day party at Lance Bass's house, but that's again another story for another day. So that lawyer, he told me it was his dream to be a singer. And it was clear he was sort of like using these tactics on this guy, like bringing him around Britney Spears, trying to woo him because he wants to work in music. So we're watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and suddenly he's showing me his heart through his pants. And I'm like, Teresa Giudice has never done this for me, but like, go off, king. He rolls closer to me and starts pushing it up against my leg, to which I nudge him away. He then does it a second time, and then I nudge him away. It happened at minimum 2 times. It could have been 3, but I've learned my lessons when it comes to the law. You only say what you are absolutely sure of, not what might have happened. Anyway, I'm thinking, bro, no. 1, you look like a literal monkey, like an actual monkey. 2, you were talking to me about this other dude. And 3, I told you no before I came over. Because I did not want to, he asked me if I would take him to go get his car, which he had left at the Soho house the night before. I guess he drank too much is what he said. Now, when I originally shared this story, Britney fans took this story and said that he essayed me. I want to make it clear that is not what I said. I never felt that. I felt he came on to me and I rejected his advances. After that encounter, I do believe that I did text Cade one time, and we didn't speak again until I started assisting Mariah Carey. Follow for part 2.